From Caterpillars to Butterflies, episode 29, Why It's Important to Slow Down and Take a Break.
Welcome to the From Caterpillars to Butterflies Personal Growth Podcast. Just like the caterpillar is destined to become a butterfly, you too are designed for a beautiful transformation. This is where you go to grow and transform your life. And now, here's your host, Certified Life Coach, Charlene Dior.
Hey, this is Charlene, your host of the From Caterpillars to Butterflies Personal Growth Podcast, where we talk about all things personal growth. If it can help you grow, we will likely be covering it right here. And today we're talking about taking breaks, slowing down and taking breaks throughout the journey of life and the journey to wherever it is that you're going next. And to also let you know that I am taking a break. I am taking a break for the month of June. I have a vacation planned and I have a personal goal to get a first draft to an editor of my upcoming book. So I thought, I debated what I should do, and I just decided that I should slow down a little bit, take a break so I can concentrate on wrapping up the first draft of my upcoming book. So if you find yourself having withdrawal from Charlene, you can stay in touch on the blog from caterpillarstobutterflies.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'll have all the links there on the blog for you if that is something that you desire. So let's jump into today's content. Slowing down. We are in such a go type of society and culture, and we oftentimes really pride ourselves in being busy all the time. We wear busyness like a badge of honor. Sometimes it's almost like a status to say that, or a status symbol to say that I'm busy. I'm so busy. I have so much to do. Oh my gosh, I didn't even have lunch today. I just was so busy working. I just had so much going on, right? But all of that busyness can at some point, be a hindrance. There's a point of diminishing returns where more busyness, more activity, more effort doesn't necessarily yield greater returns. It starts to tank a little bit. So it's really good to take a step back, to slow down, to take a break so that you can come back more engaged, have a second wind, more energized. I think of it in terms of building muscles and exercising, right? You can go to the gym for 10 hours a day, but you're not going to grow your muscles any faster, right? In fact, you might do some damage. You can't go and do push-ups for 10 hours a day and get ripped. You have to do it over time, and you have to also give your muscles a break in between. So that break is a critical part of building the muscles. I also think of it in terms of just how you get muscle fatigued. So I used to have a trainer, and she would have us do circuits. So we might have like 5 different exercises to do. So if it's arm day, we might have some kettlebell swings, and then we might have some pull-up bars or push-up bars, and like 4 or 5 different exercises. And then we would have reps. So she would start off at like maybe 20 and then go down to 18, 16, all the way down to 0. So it would work like you go to the first station, let's say it's kettlebells, and so you do 20 kettlebell swings. And then you go to the next station and let's say it's push-ups, and then you do 20 push-ups, right? And you do that for all of the different exercises. And then the next round, you have to do 18. So you go through and you do 18 kettlebell swings, 18 push-ups, and then 16, 14, 12, all the way down to 0. But you know what? With me and my weak self, there's a point where my muscles are just so fatigued. Like they can't even swing the doggone kettlebell anymore. They can't lift up anymore. That muscle fatigue is a real thing. And so it's the same thing with your own life and your own projects. Like, I could still do the kettlebell swing, but it's really difficult. It's not efficient. My form is getting off. My coach had to help me raise my arms sometimes and help me, like, sometimes she has to help me like pull the weight bar back down because I would maybe get it up but then I can't get it back down because my muscles are so weak. And that's what happens when you keep going. It's like you're getting weak. And so you're still doing something. You're still lifting the weights, but you're just not doing it efficiently. And you can't get it back down or you can't get it back up. So taking a break helps you avoid that muscle fatigue. It helps you avoid that energy fatigue, that goal fatigue. Trying to operate through your fatigue is not good for you. It's not good for what you're working towards. It's not good for what you're trying to create and build. And you'd be better off by taking a break, giving yourself a chance to breathe, to regroup, to get your stamina back so that when you go back to the table, right, or go back to the kettlebells, then you're doing a good swing with good form and you're actually making a difference. Like I said, you cannot go to the gym for 10 hours and come out with biceps. I mean, 10 hours over time maybe, but not 10 hours in one sitting. So know that the breaks are an important part of your productivity and your accomplishment in the journey. And don't be afraid to take them. Another thing is, sometimes I write blog posts and then I'll go back the next day or the next week or a month later and I'll go back and read the post. And even though I read the post like 7, 8, 9, 10 times before I published it, I see an error. And sometimes the errors are just like crazy, like, Charlene, what were you doing? Were you drinking when you wrote this? Right? Like sometimes the errors are just like so crazy errors because like we read what we know we wanted to say sometimes. And so we just totally just miss it altogether. But when you come back a week later, or even the next day, then you have a new perspective and you're able to see with a clean set of eyes. So taking a break also allows you to recalibrate your vision, recalibrate your perspective so that you can see with a clean set of eyes, so that you can see something that you have missed previously. It's kind of like cold cases. Like how many times does a cold like murder case get solved? Years later, or with a new detective, a fresh set of eyes can see something new. So you might have been banging your head against the wall on a certain project in your life, and a break, a change of scenery, giving your eyes a rest can help you come back and catch something that you've missed or give you a new idea or inspiration that you've missed. So taking a break is also an important part of just doing your best, because the break gives you perspective, a new vision, a new angle that can help make your work better in the long run. Taking a break can also help you have the time to reflect. I have a friend who was married and he had a kid on the way. And he was working a job that didn't pay him a lot of money, so he had to get a second job. So he has 2 jobs, a kid on the way, and a wife. And then at some point, he leaves his old job and he goes to a new job that pays him substantially more, but he's still working his part-time job. And then one day it occurs to him like, dude, why are you still working this job? I don't need it anymore. But because he was just so used to being on the go and doing what he does and go, he didn't stop to reflect that his needs had changed, and what drove him to get the second job wasn't an issue anymore. So sometimes you might be going down a certain path that made sense a while ago, but it doesn't make sense now. But because you have not slowed down at all, you've not stopped at all, so you can reflect and breathe, then you're still going down the wrong path, or you're still doing something that doesn't matter anymore, that's not important anymore. So slowing down and taking a break can help you reflect on what you're doing, on why you're doing it, if it's still the right thing for you to be doing, if this is still the right road for you to be on. Slowing down and taking a break can help give you balance. So we talked about having balance a few episodes ago, and just making sure that you're attending to all the important areas of your life that mean something to you. And so when you're go, then it's very possible that you're not paying attention to another area, right? And so I said that I was taking a break on the podcasting because I have a vacation coming up, and I also have a personal goal to get a first draft of my book ready to go to an editor by July 1. So I'm balancing out some of my goals, and I could just decide to try and just hammer it out and do all of it, but I don't want to. It feels like that's not the right thing for me to be doing. So slowing down can help you balance another area of your life, to give it some attention that maybe you have been neglecting for a while, to pay attention to something else or someone else's needs that maybe they need you, your husband or your wife or your kids, but you've been so busy with this other thing, right? So slowing down can help you refine the balance, recalibrate the different areas of your life, and be purposeful about how you're spending your life. Slowing down can help you be present. When you're always going and you have a million things to do, then you're always either doing something, you're thinking about what you have to do next, you're thinking about what you did last, and if you did it good enough, or if it's going to be okay. So you're always just in your head doing something. You're never being you. And I think that's a part of the reason why people lose themselves over time, is because they forgot to just be themselves for so long that they don't even know how to. Slowing down can help you just be present in the moment, in this time, in this season of your own life. And when you are more present in your life, then life is more enjoyable and it's more meaningful. So slow down and just be. Stop doing so much and just be. Be in the moment. Be present. Slowing down can help you be more effective, especially when you have something that's routine that you do over and over again. So I think about this in the years that I spent putting reports together in Excel, right? And so I would always try to spend time up front to automate the report as much as possible with formulas and macros and VLOOKUPs and things like that, so that the next day, all I had to do was just copy and paste the data into the template, and then the report would kind of create itself. But if you're just like go, 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 and you're never stopping and thinking and taking a step back and investing in something else, then you might not see the opportunities where you could be streamlining something. You could be making something more efficient, but because you're so busy, you don't want to take the time to figure it out, right? Because putting together the template takes long in the short run, but it saves you time in the long run. So taking a break can help you be more efficient in the future. So how do you actually slow down? So I talked about some of the benefits of it. You have an opportunity to reflect, to make sure that what you're doing is still important, right? You have an opportunity to just be present in the moment, and being present helps you worry less, have less stress, less anxiety, more fulfillment, more happiness, right? You have an opportunity to do a better job, catch things that you missed before, change your perspective. So I've talked about the benefits of slowing down and taking breaks as needed. So let's talk about how do you do that. One, you could just take a break. Like I said, you can just take a break for a month, a week, or even just in the midst of the day. You can just say, I've been working really hard on this and I'm battling with a little bit of fatigue or a little bit of stuckness. And so you can just decide to take a break to get the clarity and the new perspective, change projects, go take a walk, watch TV, right? You can just take a break literally when you realize that you have been too focused on the doing and not enough on the being. You can go on vacation. I always thought this was weird. People say that like Americans don't take their vacation. Like, are you kidding? I go on vacation at least once a year. But if you're one of those people who is too afraid to take a step away from your work or what you're doing or the busyness of life, then forcing yourself to take a vacation could be a good way to slow down and to take a break. Saying no is a really great way to slow down. If you have too much on your plate right now, not being afraid to say no to something else that could be put on your plate. But if you're taking everything that comes up when you're already knee high in water, right? Then you're going to have a hard time slowing down. So not being afraid to say no is a great way for you to slow down. Turn some things down. Give yourself more time to accomplish some of your to-do list. So if you have a to-do list and you're saying, these are all the things I have to do this day or this week, give yourself more time. Maybe it doesn't have to be done today or this week. Stretch it out so that you can slow down. But if your to-do list has too much stuff on it that you can't get it done in one day, then you're going to be like super busy trying to get it all done in one day. Give yourself more time to do things as a way to force yourself to slow down. So whatever deadline that you've created for yourself, like I said, my deadline is to get my book done by July. Like I'm giving myself an entire month, not to write it, but to get it finished, right? I'm not saying it has to be done by June. That would be crazy and I would be busy. And so stretching it out, not too much, but enough to where it's reasonable for you, can help you to slow down. So if you've crammed a bunch of stuff together in a short period of time, giving yourself more time, more flexibility can help you slow down. And the last way to slow down is this idea of being an MVP, not most valuable player, minimally viably productive. So in product development and software development, there's this concept of a minimally viable product. So it's not the product with all the bells and whistles on it. It's not the biggest, greatest thing it can be. It's just the minimal version of the product, the minimal thing that they can launch that can solve the need. And then they can build up and add to it so that it has all the bells and whistles to it over time. But it's kind of this idea that we're not going to wait a year to launch the product so it can have all the bells and whistles on it. We're going to launch it now and we're going to build to all the bells and whistles over the next year. Right. And so sometimes in my life, I am MVP. I am minimally viably productive. I am not doing all the bells and whistles of life. I am doing the minimum. I'm just being minimally productive, minimally viably productive. That's a concept that you can also take on for yourself, is that you could throw on a million things on your schedule, on your day, on your week. Or you can say, I'm just going to do the minimally viably productive things that I need to do. Just the minimum. Not forever. I'm not saying live your life that way, but there are seasons where you might want to say, I'm just going to be an MVP right now so that I can breathe, so that I can have air, so that I can have creativity and ideas and perspective. I'm just going to be the MVP. It's not going to be the bells and whistles. It's just going to be the minimal version of productivity. So when you think about all the things that are on your plate, what is just the minimal that you could be doing that could keep things afloat, right? Keep the bills paid, keep everyone fed and happy, but what's the minimal that you could be doing? And try to scale down to that for a week, for a month, to get down to just the minimal version of what you could be doing. That's a great way to take a break. If it's not minimal, key, critical items that must be there, right? They're not critical requirements, then they don't get done right now for the next 2 weeks. I'm only doing the critical, minimally viably productive things on my list to do. Those are my tips for how you can slow down and why you should slow down. Because the truth of the matter is that if you don't slow down, you run the risk of burnout. You run the risk of being fatigued physically in your body, in your spirit, in your passion, right? You could be really passionate about something, but it could burn you out too if you don't take the time to take a break. And you might find yourself doing things that really aren't aligned with where you want to go or who you want to be, because now you have this mental fatigue, right? So it's important to take the time to slow down, to take breaks. And we think that it's a setback. We think that you're losing time, but you're not. You're gaining time. You're gaining time because, like I said, there's a point of diminishing returns. If you just go, and you never stop and breathe, you run the risk of starting to see a fall off because you're not at the top of your game, because you need rest to be at the top of your game. I hope that this episode gives you something to think about, especially if you're the type of person who's always on the go. Just like your muscles can get fatigued during a workout, your ideas can get fatigued, your energy can get fatigued, your passion can get fatigued. And taking the time to slow down, to give yourself a break, helps you to just show up better the next time when you come back. And it helps you enjoy life more. Being busy all the time can be stressful, and it can take you away from being in the present, being focused. So you might want to take a break while I'm taking a break. You might decide that June is going to be an opportunity or a month for you to slow down a little bit. School's out, it's vacation season. You might decide for yourself too, I'm going to just breathe this month. I'm going to just be MVP this month, minimally viably productive. Only the critical tasks get assigned. Make sure that you are incorporating breaks in your life, in your schedule, in your day, so that you can be the best version of yourself and show up the best version of yourself.
And now, a moment of meditation. If you're not driving, cooking, or doing anything that requires your full attention, take a deep breath and close your eyes as Charlene leads you into an inspiring meditation.
Take another deep breath in and exhale, and just be. Notice your breath as you inhale and exhale. Notice your heart beating inside your chest. Listen intently to a distant sound, and just be for the next few moments. On the count of 3, I want you to open your eyes, feeling relaxed, feeling recalibrated and rebalanced. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. Feeling relaxed, noticing a new perspective, a new energy, a second win to get back at it and give it your all. Take this feeling with you for the rest of the day and the rest of your life, never forgetting how important it is to slow down and take a break. Until July, grow on purpose.
Thanks for listening to the From Caterpillars to Butterflies podcast, your one-stop shop for all things personal growth. For today's show notes and even more tools and resources to help you transform the life you have into the life you love, go to www.fromcaterpillarstobutterflies.com.